Hey, Suzanne here with Caregiver Haven. So we've got some member questions I want to go over with you today. And this refers to January, so we really should talk about this. Okay. So here's the first question. Suzanne, I swear Medicare is gaslighting us. Well, yes, probably so, because remember, Medicare is government insurance. When we have government insurance, it's social insurance. Okay. Does it have your best interest at heart? Not necessarily. It's government insurance. All right. So here's the question. My dad's specialist copay was $15 a year. This January, it's $55. And the office says, well, that's your plan that you picked. Well, meanwhile, his neighbor pays $10 for the same visit, probably a different plan, and a whole different factors go into that. But I'm terrified I picked the wrong thing during enrollment, and now we're stuck. How do I even figure out what changed without spending 12 hours on the phone? And this is from Karen in Ohio. Well, first of all, it's terrible that we pick our plans October, November, and the first week of December, and then we get gaslit when we see the bills come January, February, and March. We're like, whoa, wait a minute. We should have done our homework better, but a lot of people forget it and then they're stuck. You're absolutely right on that. Okay. So that's number one. You're not alone on that. We all go through this and we get shocked at what things are costing us now. All right. So take a deep breath. What you need, what you've described to me is the most common thing that we have to go over. All right. Medicare plans change. They change their copays, their deductibles, their drug tiers. Even the provider networks are changing every year. And then there's the fine print on top of that, which most of us don't read. And most people don't notice until the first bills show up, like I said. So the goal right now is to get clear really fast. There's a few things that you would need, 5 things, okay? 5 numbers. Number one, the first thing we need is the monthly premium. Even if it's zero, need the monthly premium, okay? This is with Medicare Advantage plans, it's usually zero. Then you need your primary care copay. What do I mean by that? Your senior is going to the primary care physician. What's the copay for that? Specialist copay. What's the copay for that? All right. And then the out-of-pocket maximum. That means there's going to come a point during the year where your senior has paid the maximum amount and doesn't have to pay anything else for the rest of the year. Then you have to look at the current medications and what each one costs right now. And we've talked about this in other things, other Q&As about how to get the cost down. All right. The plan may be the cheapest, but it might end up being the most expensive for you over the course of the year. So here's a life scenario that's very familiar. Your dad sees the cardiologist, the dermatologist, and maybe an eye doctor. Each visit is only a copay until it's 3 visits in 1 month, and suddenly $55 becomes different, right? Because it's 55 times 3 instead of $15 times 3 like it was last year. So the next step is to confirm whether his doctor is still in network. All right. Did you check those things? Everybody has to be in network. So call the office and ask, do you accept this specific plan? Not just Medicare. The specific plan really matters. You have to know what the plan is. Then this is huge. Excuse me. You have to look up the plan's evidence of coverage or summary of benefits. It sounds intimidating. It's called evidence of coverage or summary of benefits, but you're not reading the whole thing. You're hunting for a few lines. You're looking for the word specialist visit, outpatient procedures, and out-of-pocket maximum. All right? Look for those 3 things: specialist visit, outpatient procedures, and out-of-pocket maximum. And Karen, you said a key word, stuck. You may not be stuck. There are specific windows where changes are possible and you can get a better Medicare plan. So if he's on Medicare Advantage plan, there is a period early in the year where some switches can still happen, and certain life events can open special enrollment for him where he can get into another plan. The next thing I'm going to tell you, I'm as serious as a heart attack here, okay? You should never do this alone. Every single person on Medicare needs a licensed Medicare advisor who helps them compare these plans, and it typically doesn't cost you anything. This person is paid by the insurance company a commission, and they have to pick the plan that's best for you. They have your best interest at heart. They're as important as your doctor. They want you to get the best plan or the best treatment. All right. So it matters because when you compare plans, you're going to carry the medical, the emotional, and the insurance decisions all at once. Now and the financial, I should say, too. All right. So you have to have somebody look at this objectively for you and say, okay, this is the plan that's going to give you this. This is the plan that's going to give you this. How often do they take these medications? How often do they see their primary care or a specialist? They have to know all these questions. How many specialists do they have? All right? So let somebody else do the work for you. Is it too late to call somebody? No. Call somebody and let them do this plan for you and let them work their magic for you. Okay? And get these prices down. And don't ever do another Medicare plan without a specialist. And I'll give you one more hint here. I know I'm talking over on this, but I see these people set themselves up, these brokers, they sign up for Medicare and they're in front of a grocery store or they're in front of a pharmacy store. No, 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 no. These people don't sit there. These people are specialists that work out of an office and they've been doing it for years. So your first question to a healthcare broker or specialist is, how long have you been doing this? My guy has done mine every single year for me, and he knows exactly what I need, and he always gets me the best plan based on my lifestyle. Okay? Absolutely does. So you have got to have a broker that you trust, just like you would trust your doctor. All right. All right. Now for the second question. Suzanne, I did everything right, or I thought I did. My mom doesn't take any meds. So we skipped the drug. Ooh. So we skipped the drug plan when she first qualified. No, 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 no. Now she needs a couple of prescriptions after a new diagnosis, and the pharmacy said her costs are high. Someone mentioned penalties, and I almost passed out in the aisle after hearing this. Did we ruin her Medicare forever? And now what do I do? This is Melissa. Yeah, Melissa, Medicare does punish you if you don't sign up for a drug plan. That's part D. D is for drugs, okay? You have to have that plan when she signed up for Medicare. I have seen senior after senior, and I don't know why Medicare punishes seniors like this, because some of these are $90 a month they have to pay for the rest of their lives on Medicare. Others of them, $45 a month, depending on how long you didn't have your coverage when you first started. It's horrible, but you're stuck with this forever. You will never not pay this penalty. It's terrible. This is why you have to have a healthcare broker. Even if you're not on medications, I personally don't take any medications, but I still have a plan D, okay? Plan D. Do I pay it? I have to. But there are plans out there that are zero. Okay. So you can get a plan that's zero. All right. You don't take any medications. So yes, sadly, this is what's going to happen. You weren't stupid. You just didn't know. All right. So get a broker. All right. Medicare Part D is a prescription drug coverage. So if somebody goes without credible drug coverage after they're first eligible, Medicare can actually add a late enrollment penalty. That's what they call it when they eventually sign up, and that penalty can follow them for the rest of their lives, and it does. And it matters because caregivers and seniors get so blindsided by this, especially on the medication cost, because now not only are they paying for their medications, but they're paying $90 a month or an extra $45 a month for this penalty. I wish Medicare would do away with it, and I wish people would respect seniors that live on a fixed income. which most of us do because we're retired, right? So the first thing to do is to get a hold of the broker. The second thing to do is get a clear list of her medications and doses in the pharmacies he uses, and then find the coverage and the preferred pharmacy that drug coverage covers, okay? So that insurance is going to say, here's her preferred pharmacy. And then you're going to go to town and start looking for the cheapest cost, because you can get these down. I've seen medications go from $300, $400, $700 down to $49, down to $30, but the person still has to pay that $45 or that $90 a month in penalty fees for the rest of their lives. But at least they got their medications down. All right? So then take action during the right window. And what I mean by that is, depending on their time, depending on their current coverage, she may be able to enroll or change plans. And if she does, she may also qualify for extra help due to her income and assets. And that can lower costs significantly. Again, a healthcare broker knows this, and you must find one and just look them up, ask the neighbors. Most seniors do use a healthcare broker. They really do, because they're free and they're paid by the health insurance companies. So they do this for free, and they really do protect the seniors. All right. Step 4, as I've said before, you're going to get that Medicare advisor. But the other thing you're going to do, and a lot of people don't know this, is you want all your medications to never, never, never be on auto refill. Auto refill is awful because medications change constantly. And if your doctor changes your medication, you're going to keep getting it over and over and over again. So look at your prescriptions and make sure they are not on auto refill. Okay? All right. So list these medications, go find a broker. You're not alone on this. Thousands of people have made this mistake, but now we can do something about it. Take care. We'll talk soon. Bye-bye.